There's no denying that there's been a sharp decline in interest regarding superhero media in the past few years. I feel like most of it can be attributed to the MCU releasing a string of flops. Black Panther 2 was boring, Ant-Man 3 wasn't very good, and now it's completely irrelevant because the Kang storyline was thrown out the window. Thor 4 was way too goofy, and not only did they waste a cool villain on this movie, but they also wasted a good actor. Captain America 4 was basically a Hulk movie in disguise with bland and uninteresting writing. And oh brother, don't even get me started on this one. No one even watched this movie. And if you're claiming that you did watch this movie, you're a liar. You're a big fat liar pants. Liar, liar, plants for hire, liar. Why are you lying? You should be ashamed of yourself. You know that? And the DCEU... Well, you know, we don't talk about the DCEU because, frankly, that was shit. But with the release of Superman and Fantastic Four, I felt a feeling that I haven't felt in a long time. We're so back, boys. The drought of good superhero movies is finally gone. For the first time in a long time, I was actually interested in what I was seeing on the screen. It was refreshing to finally see good adaptations of OG characters who have fallen out of popularity with the general public. I feel like this Superman movie really captures the core of his character. It shows that even though he's an invulnerable alien with godlike powers, he still views himself as human. He thinks, feels, loves, and struggles the same way we do.
I put one foot in front of the other, and I try to make the best choices I can. I screw up all the time. But that is being human. And
man, shut your bitch ass up.
He also did a great job of showing why Lex Luthor hates Superman so much. His hatred for this man burns so hot that he has an entire army of monkeys typing hate comments in a pocket dimension. I mean that's just beautiful. That's definitely something that Lex Luthor would do. And a lot of people also don't realize the real reason why he's so bright and optimistic. It's not because he's naive. It's because he values his humanity, which is why this dude saves a squirrel in the movie, which I know was a meme moment for a lot of people, but honestly it's very in character for him. Meanwhile, Zack Snyder's version of Superman lets an entire courthouse of people get blown up because I guess he's not super enough to stop it. And then he starts fucking mewing for no reason.
What's the S stand for?
It stands for swag. Listen, I don't claim to be a Superman expert by any means, but I don't think Superman would just willingly stand there and let people get blown up and not even attempt to even try to save them. That doesn't make any sense at all. And for some reason, he also let his dad die in a tornado to conceal his identity, which doesn't make any fucking sense at all either. That's so stupid. That's so out of character for modern Superman. I just don't understand. Why? Fuck this movie, man. And I'm not saying I absolutely hate the DCEU, but there's a lot of bad things about it, alright? The bad significantly overweighs the good. But my main gripe with the Snyderverse, aka the DCEU, is how he misses the entire point of a lot of these characters. His version of Superman has done irreparable damage to the character of Superman as a whole because a lot of people have misconceptions about him and seem to have forgotten the defining traits that make Superman Superman. Ah yes, I love Man of Steel. It's a very good portrayal of Superman. See how he destroys the entire fucking city and doesn't even bother saving anyone? What an awesome iteration of Superman. It's just very cool.
What? It's just an ordinary crabby... Oh my goodness! Squidward!
And that's why I appreciate Gunn's version of Superman a lot, as he actually seems to understand what the character needs to be like.
Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction.
And the Justice Gang was cool to see. Mr. Terrific was aura farming the entire movie.
Full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen.
Hawkgirl she was there, I guess. And it was cool to actually see a Green Lantern on the big screen for the first time. What? What do you, huh? Green Lantern already had a movie? What are you talking about? There was no Green Lantern movie. I mean, that movie never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. That movie never happened, okay? But yeah, overall, the storyline wasn't anything crazy. The Ultraman twist was very obvious. The stakes weren't really that high, it was a pretty run-of-the-mill generic superhero storyline. But it was just so nice seeing Superman be Superman for once. I mean, all of this evil Superman media is just so boring now, and it's just so nice to actually see the OG in action. And I am looking forward to the future of the DCU if it keeps going in this direction. By the way, my personal prediction for how the actual Justice League gets introduced is that, something happens to Maxwell Lord and the Justice Gang can't get funded anymore. So that's when Batman steps up to fund them, and it finally forms into the Justice League. I mean, that's just like a little personal headcanon I came up with. I know some dude on Reddit has probably already made this theory, but, I haven't seen anything on it, so I'm gonna claim it. It was me. So if this happens, you know who to credit. It was me. I copyright it. Fantastic Four. Now this movie, it was quite, it was quite good. This movie was good. One of the main reasons why I enjoy this movie is because it feels like a standalone film that just happens to interconnect, and not a blatant, boring money grab filler to push along the overarching narrative of the MCU. Seeing Marvel's first family step into the big spotlight after all of these years was nice to see. I know they had movies back then, but I don't even really remember the Fox ones, and the reboot was... We don't talk about the reboot.
Say that again?
We don't talk about the reboot.
Say that again?
We don't talk about the reboot.
I'm over here stroking my dick.
Say that again?
We don't talk about the reboot. With how big the MCU is nowadays, this is the first time that the Fantastic Four is actually getting recognized outside of nerd culture. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm an expert on the Fantastic Four, but from my general knowledge of them, I would say they did a pretty decent job. At least better than all of the other movie adaptations that they've had. The main point of this movie story is family, and that's kind of their whole shtick, is that they're family. And I think that's one of the strongest elements of this film, as well as the way they characterized the Four. I liked how they showed Reed's struggle with being the smartest man in the world. Everyone's always asking him what the next plan is, and he knows the most logical option would be to just give up his child. But of course he's not going to do that because he's a good guy and he loves his family. Sue being the heart of the team and not giving up to protect her child by gathering the entire world together to face the threat of Galactus as one big Earth family. Instead of just being an arrogant, hot-headed womanizer, they actually gave Johnny's character more depth this time. And I especially enjoyed the brother-like banter that he had with Ben. And speaking of Ben, out of the four, it felt like he got the short end of the stick, which leads me to the gripes I had about this movie. It seemed like there was a side plot with him that got cut out, because early in the movie, Reed tries to apologize to Ben for the accident, but then Ben copes and says, well, even though you're that smart, there's no way you would have known. He's also seen wearing his trench coat and fedora in multiple scenes, because he wants to feel like the normal guy he once was. And then he also talks to that one teacher, church lady or whatever, I don't remember her name. It was obviously hinting towards him overcoming his appearance and finding a love interest. But, none of it ever paid off. I don't know why they cut it from the movie. It also seemed like there was supposed to be a romantic relationship between Johnny and Silver Surfer, but, it never happened. I mean, it seemed like he was gonna do that because they literally locked eyes. They had a moment, you know, when he first chased her, and then that's when he translated her language. I mean, why he went through all of that effort. He was even trying to make small talk and like get to know her when they went to Galactus's base. And then she saved him when he tried to sacrifice himself at the end. Like, it really seemed like there were scenes for all of this stuff and that these were all fully fleshed out side plots, but they just all got cut out, and it just makes it very awkward because you still have these scenes that make it seem like it's gonna lead to somewhere, but it doesn't. And I just feel like we missed out on a lot of stuff here, which is unfortunate, seeing as this is a lot of people's first introduction to the Fantastic Four. I feel like it would have helped people understand the characters better. Which brings me to the last gripe I have about this movie. I watched it with my girlfriend, and she has no prior background knowledge about comic books, so she was kind of confused throughout the movie, which I can see. You know, if I didn't know anything about these characters, I'd probably be a little confused too. It kind of felt like I was watching a sequel for a movie that never existed, or like I just started watching a TV show like halfway through the season. It just seemed like the movie was missing some exposition. Even though the movie was over 2 hours, it still felt like it was kind of rushed. Like, I get it's supposed to be one of those movies that skips past the origin story, but for characters like this, it feels kind of jarring. The general public is not familiar with these characters. They've barely had time to familiarize themselves with them, and we're already seeing a child be born. The reason why skipping over the origin story for characters like Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man works out well is because a lot of people are familiar with those characters already. So while I do like the movie and the way that they characterize the Fantastic Four, I just don't like how fast they're moving through it. It took years and years for the Avengers to finally face Thanos, but within 2 movies the Fantastic Four gets introduced and Doctor Doom is already the big villain. Like, this guy has an entire movie named after him when he hasn't even made an appearance in prior movies.